Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us at the Center for Court Innovation's Community Justice 2022 Conference and International Summit. This is a very bittersweet year for us. As many of you know, Judge Alex Calabrese, who is the founding judge of the Red Hook Community Justice Center and who has tirelessly served the Red Hook community in that capacity for 22 years, has just retired. It goes without question that Judge Calabrese has been instrumental in the development of community courts and community justice practices around the world, beginning with Brooklyn, New York, and from there, the list is almost endless. Today, the Center for Court Innovation is honored to present Judge Calabrese with the Community Justice Trailblazer Award before our network of community justice leaders, reformers, community members, and practitioners. Judge Calabrese sees each person who comes before him as a unique individual who deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, and understands that this is the court's responsibility to its community. We are deeply grateful for Judge Calabrese's care and commitment to the people of Red Hook and to the cause of justice reform. Fortunately, though retiring from the bench, Judge Calabrese will remain connected to the Center for Court Innovation and continue to be an active member of the community justice field. Please join me in congratulating him for his invaluable contributions and wishing him the best as he embarks on a new chapter. Speaking today for this award ceremony, we'll hear from Daniella Beinisch of the Israel Community Courts and JDC. She is joined by Shlomi Cohen, who is here in our virtual audience, followed by Judge Andre Sparks, the presiding judge of the Municipal Court of the City of Birmingham, Alabama. Afterwards, we'll show a brief video created in Judge Calabrese's honor and then hear a few words from him. Thank you for tuning in and congratulations again.
Hello, everyone. It's a great honor for me and for my colleague Shlomi Cohen to join you today and to take part in presenting this special award to a very special judge and leader, our friend and mentor, Judge Calabrese. My first meeting with the judge was back in 2007 when I was an SJD student working on my thesis dissertation on problem-solving courts. As part of this research, that later became an important milestone in my own professional career, I conducted a field research in a few courts around New York City. The research included multiple visits in the Red Hook Court, as well as interviews with the judge, the Red Hook team, and team members in the Center for Court Innovation. Honestly, when I first came to Red Hook, I was a bit skeptical. Back home in Israel, I was a prosecutor, and I didn't know much about problem-solving justice or community courts. However, seeing Judge Calabrese in action, talking to him, and even sitting next to him on the bench, as I know many of you had the privilege to do, totally changed my perspective. Actually, it did much more than that. The judge and the work done in the Red Hook Community Center under his leadership opened a new legal horizon for me personally and for many other professionals that joined me during the years at the journey of creating community justice in Israel. I know that for many of you here in the audience, it did the same in your own path and your own way, just because this is how Judge Calabrese is, a great mentor and inspiration. Over the years, we had multiple site visits to Red Hook from Israeli team members. Judges, lawyers, social workers, and policymakers all came to Red Hook in order to learn from the incredible work Judge Calabrese and his team are doing. The reputation of the judge and the stories everyone shared when they came back created a situation in which many people asked to continue visiting even when they were in the city for family vacation and other occasions. The judge's leadership, wisdom, unique practices, and above all, his compassion and humanity have been an inspiration to all of us. His generous and warm way, and the idea of sharing knowledge, stories, and advice with all visitors were so important to all of us. The judge never got tired from explaining, teaching, and leading others in the path he created. For us, the crown jewel in this relationship was the judge's visit in Israel. Together with two amazing colleagues from the Center for Court Innovation, Brett Taylor and Aisha Green, The judge spent a week here in Israel in training session for our local teams. This visit was almost 7 years ago, and everyone here still talks about it, quotes the judge's good advices, remembers what a great mentor he is. The Israeli Community Courts pilot launched in 2014 in a very small scale operation in two courts in the country. Today, we have 6 operating courts, one in each judicial county in Israel. Inspired by the community justice ideas, we created a unique local model that fits the criminal justice system in Israel and the needs of our own communities. Our community courts take participants who committed mid-level to severe offenses, mainly felony offenses, defendants that in any other scenario would have ended up in jail for a long time. Over 1,600 participants had already passed through our long-term intervention programs, and success rates are extremely high. I'm really pleased to share with you that just a few months ago, national legislation has passed, and we have a new law now that embeds the community court model into the formal justice system as an alternative procedure. The state court system and the parliament actually adopted the model we created and developed. This is a binding law, and it means that in 2 years, we will have 18 community courts nationwide, and that would allow every eligible defendant in Israel to go into the process if he wishes to do so. This is, by all means, a great thing for all of us, and I personally really think this is also a great success of the community court community and of all the professionals sharing these ideas that Judge Calabrese and so many others are leading along the way. On behalf of our team here in Israel, on behalf of judges, practitioners, and other partners, and especially on behalf of so many participants that got the opportunity to get their life back on track thanks to you, we really, really want to thank you all, our friends in the Center for Court Innovation, for your help, for your training, and for your guidance along the years. But really, that's an opportunity for a special thank you and honor to the judge, the amazing Judge Calabrese, a mentor, a friend, and a human being who's a judge. Thank you, Judge Calabrese. It's an honor to be part of the ceremony here, presenting this award and sharing this important moment for you all, with you. We wish you a great success in the next steps, great health, good health, and again, hope to see you and be in touch. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Andre Sparks, and I'm honored to serve as the presiding judge of the City of Birmingham's Municipal Court, Birmingham, Alabama. But more significantly, I'm honored to be here to join this celebration of a jurist who's absolutely deserving of this honor. Judge Calabrese, thank you. Thank you so much for all you've done for the community justice movement. Thank you so much for the example you set. And thank you for being so open in allowing other jurists and their teams to come and view the daily work you do. You may not realize this, but there aren't many Alex Calabreses. In fact, you would be hard pressed to find any who are as open and as giving of their time and their encouragement as you are. And so, for that reason, you are absolutely deserving of this award. And the fact that someone saw fit to name it the Trailblazer Award is absolutely appropriate. The dictionary says that a trailblazer is one who blazes a trail to guide others. Well, then, my friend, it is well deserved for you to receive this honor. I know it's been hard. These 22 years haven't been easy. You've made it look easy, but that's what superstars do. They make hard things look easy. But those of us who have tried to emulate and follow your example have realized just how difficult each day can be when you're trying to set up a system that puts people over processes. And so I want to thank you for the times when you were by yourself, all alone in trying to decide the right way to go. I want to thank you for not giving up because you didn't have someone else to turn to for an example or guidance. And then I want to thank you for not letting the next judge have to experience the same thing because you always did give guidance and you were open. Thank you. And so as you enter into this next phase of your life, I'm sure there'll be other trails to blaze. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities for you to show just how much better the community justice system can be. I know Red Hook is in good hands because you've left a solid foundation. And it's my prayer that what you started there will continue to replicate all over this country and all over the world. I've been honored to see that 15 other international courts have adopted the pattern that you set with community courts. It makes sense to me. The book that I read, the article that I read tells me that one of your favorite characters in movies is Atticus Finch. Makes sense. You made yourself a modern day Atticus Finch. You always look out for the downtrodden, the people who have no one, to make sure that they get a fair shake. That's contagious, my friend. And we've caught it over here in Birmingham. It's my prayer that as you celebrate this oh so well deserved retirement, that others like Alex Calabrese pop up all over this country. God bless you. Take care. I hope to see you soon in some forum. And we'll try to keep doing the work you started.
Me saying one word? Really, one word? My name is Alex Calabrese, the presiding judge of the Red Hook Community Justice Center. This department needs some work, which they have to do immediately. Yeah. I grew up in the Bronx, went to St. David's, went to Loyola High School, then went to Notre Dame, and then Fordham Law School. Always wanted to be a criminal defense attorney and went to work for legal aid. I was in arraignments for a couple years down at 120 Skirmorn Street, and I realized that I'm seeing the same people every 2 to 3 months. And I started thinking that's because we're not really getting to the underlying issue that's bringing them to court. And so I started sending people to programs. After 2 years sitting in arraignments, I got a call and they said, we're opening up the Red Hook Community Justice Center. We'd like you to look at it and see if you'd like to apply to be the judge.
The first time I saw him, I was like, is that Judge Calabrese? And it was him. He was on his motorcycle having a good time.
I knew that Alex was the right person to be the judge for the Red Hook Community Justice Center the first time I walked through Red Hook with him. We came across a defendant walking down the street, and I thought, oh my God, this is going to be the worst thing ever. And it was exactly the opposite. Alex was so warm and open to this gentleman. And at the same time, he communicated decorum.
He listens to everybody, and especially the defendants. He makes them feel valued, like they're not looked down upon.
I was constantly going in and out of prisons. I was really about to die. I never really had anywhere to go back to, and I never shared that with anyone. So of course, they would find programs and I would not stay, or I would immediately go back to the street. Once he started hearing more of my story from the social workers that would continue to meet with me throughout these offenses, I think he put together a story and he got a better picture of me. When they were about to sentence me, he said, this woman obviously has a quality of life issue. I immediately was sent to a hospital and immediately sent to a rehabilitation center. However, while I was in the rehab, I thought it was going to be the same routine, and I was going to go through the system, and I was starting to feel better, so I'm getting ready to go back out there again. But he called every week. He was checking on me, and that floored me. I was like, the judge is checking on me, like, oh my God, like somebody was paying attention to me. I stayed there 3 years. I built my life. I got married. I saved my money. I went to college.
We adapt to our community and our community needs. Some of the best things have happened when we've had kids get 4-year scholarships to Ivy League schools, and kids go to community college and college off our GED program, and then go back to the neighborhood because they become the role models. And we were graduating 16 to 18 kids a year from our high school programs, and most of those were going to community college and college.
Judge Calabrese became family to the Red Hook community. The day after Hurricane Sandy, When I was able to go outside, the first person I ran into was Judge Calabrese, and he wanted to know if we had lights, if we had power.
This is someone who had an impact not just on the 200,000 people that reside within the catchment area of the Justice Center, but you can feel Alex's fingerprints in Australia, in Holland, in Scotland, in Georgia, in more countries than I can name.
I came over to the States, went to Red Hook because I was looking at smarter ways of doing justice. I remember one particular case, Judge Alex was judicially monitoring a woman who'd committed offences because of her drug addiction. And in the court was this woman's mum. And I remember Alex saying to the mum, you've been able to help your daughter get clean because we've been able to get you into a drug and alcohol rehabilitation program as well, haven't we? And I thought, wow, the mum hadn't been charged with any offence, but Alex knew that if we were going to help the daughter, mum had to be assisted as well. So this was a fabulous, holistic approach. I decided that I wanted to use Red Hook as a model for setting up a neighbourhood justice centre in Victoria, and I was able to do so. And our neighbourhood justice centre in Victoria has been going since 2007.
A lot of the success of the Justice Center is really done by others, done by the community telling us what they wanted, done by the court officers telling us they want people treated with respect, done by the clinic providing the services, done by everybody with procedural justice and fairness. I love telling our staff that the work that they've done here is resonating around the world, and that people are getting help 24/7 because Red Hook has become that kind of a model. Yeah.
Just want to wish you a happy and healthy and long retirement.
Red Hook is certainly going to miss you.
A big thank you for really giving us the honor and the privilege of collaborating with you and your organization here.
It's been an honor and a pleasure appearing before you all these years.
We all fought over getting into your courtroom because you treated us with respect, along with teaching us how to be good, not just prosecutors, but good people.
I want to thank you for giving me the job of my dreams.
It was a pleasure. I'm gonna miss you.
Congratulations.
And I just hope that he continues to remember the good work and the people that love him here in Red Hook, like myself.
And I'm bringing the family. Everyone needs to go to Birmingham and Montgomery and Selma. The moment a person sets foot in Israel, you can feel you're in a dynamic place. We knew we were going to be asked a lot of tough and excellent questions, but we knew that if we could present what we knew to be true about community courts, they would move forward. And that's thanks to Daniella and Shlomi. You prepared everyone, you set the groundwork, and then you followed up afterwards. It's really due to a lot of your hard work that Israel has not only moved forward, but started the 2 courts, expanded to 6, now going to 18. It's also a beautiful country. So Natalie, Daniella, and Judge Sparks, it's just an honor to receive this award from you. I first want to thank Medina Henry, Director of Community Justice Initiatives Training and Technical Assistance for the Center for Court Innovation. Her last day at CCI was Monday, and basically her title says it all. She covered everything from technical support and advice to encouragement, helping communities and the people starting courts overcome the barriers to new ideas. You know, I've traveled around and chief judges will say, oh, everything's working great. We don't need to change anything. Medina was a key person in building momentum for the community court movement. And Courts Medina, you had a hand in starting Medina, helping people and inspiring other communities to start courts. And so you've made a difference and you will be missed. Thank you. So, I started my career, I'm sitting in arraignments, I'm seeing the same people every few months, and pretty much you can predict their next arrest. And I'm thinking that's because, we're not getting to the underlying issue. And Judge Kay noted this. She said about her courts, we have people doing life in prison 30 days at a time. So this traditional approach wasn't solving the problem. So they put together at the same time, they put together the Justice Center, 230,000 people in our catchment area, first multi-jurisdictional court in the country, criminal, family, and housing court cases. And I was so fortunate. I am the lucky one that they asked me to preside at Red Hook. I accepted, and I've never made a better decision. And the one thing I did was listen to others. So before we opened, there's a community meeting. A woman says to me, are you really a judge? And I said, why do you ask? And she said, well, we've never had a judge out here. So I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to be a judge and to be part of a system that had such a disconnect with the community. And a court officer, Leroy Davis, lived in Red Hook, and he wanted to make sure we treated with respect in our court, that people were treated with respect in our court. So our team Red Hook, all agreed we're going to use procedural justice in our courthouse, and we're not going to wait for people to walk in our front door. We're going to go out to the court, and we're going to go out to the communities we serve. And bring our court to the community. And I was privileged and honored to work with so many dedicated, compassionate, innovative, creative, intelligent team members over the years. They see a need and they address it, whether it's services or food delivered to buildings without gas, coat drives, Thanksgiving meals, toy drives, or fun pop-ups like salsa dancing. They brought it all to the community, and they showed me what community justice means. I've been so proud to work with people who want to make a difference in their community, and our attorneys, DA's office and legal aid, working to create Red Hook, and then supporting the court and the programming all of these years, saying, yeah, let's try this. We're willing to try it. And then making suggestions as to the programming, which we adopted. And thank you to our clerks, the smartest clerks in the system, because they're multi-jurisdictional, criminal, family, and housing. And Alvin Lott, the resource coordinator. And obviously, Edna was truly did everything for me, which I truly appreciate, with all the calendars and all the hard work. I want to thank CCI, Greg Berman, for your support and guidance all through the years. I always knew CCI was in my corner. Thank you, Courtney, for your leadership. It's an agency with national and international influence, and it's playing a major role in making justice fair for everyone. And it's constantly addressing issues that arise. You're going to be the point person for justice in the future, and it couldn't be in better hands. So I've had the privilege of speaking with judges in many different countries, and the chief judges tell me proudly that their court handled X amount of cases, did X amount of trials. But were they delivering justice? Well, when I ask the judges who are actually doing the work in those countries, they tell me time and time again, I'm just churning cases. I see the same people and I send them to jail. Nothing changes. I want to make a difference, is what they say. And that's because they're just matching the crime with the sentence over and over again. As Dr. King said in his letter from a Birmingham jail, I am sure that none of you would want to rest content with the superficial kind of analysis that deals mainly with effects and does not grapple with underlying causes. And that's what the traditional justice approach does. It deals with effects. It doesn't want to grapple with the underlying causes, and it's the problem that needs to be solved. We see everyone who comes into court through our front door, brought in by the police, part of our community before the case, while it's pending, and after the case is over. So we want them to have a successful experience, which is actually a different approach and unthinkable to some jurisdictions, that we want people coming into a court system to have a successful experience. The usual mentality is us versus them. Success for us means the person using needed services to resolve a case or having a trial where they believe that they were treated fairly. I want to thank the Red Hook community for their support. They told us what services they needed. We could not have become a model for any other court without their input. And I have learned so much from them, and I've learned more from them and received more from them than I've been able to give. I want to thank CCI, the staff that supports the Justice Center. You are part of our team and what we try to accomplish every day. I want to thank everyone working in community courts now or planning a community court for the future. Let us know how it's going. Let us know as issues come up, as those problems are solved. You inspire us. Looking at Israel is going to be a great leader of community courts. And most of all, I want to thank our participants, from case number 5. showed us that this approach that we were taking would work, that if we gave them the opportunity, they would do the work and take advantage of it. What justice reform experts are looking for in court systems everywhere is in our DNA, and it is what we do every day. Criminal justice system represents the ultimate power of government over the individual. With the enormity of that power, every person in the justice system, from the judge to the prosecutor to the defense attorney, the police, and others, they have an obligation to use that power responsibly, with care and with compassion. Imagine a court system where the police and the arrestee know they will be taken to a court where they'll be treated fairly, respectfully, listened to, and in many cases, be given an opportunity to get some help. This is happening in community courts across the country and around the world, but this approach needs to be part of the fabric of every court everywhere. Court systems need to treat people as part of the community, not as outcasts, and give them the tools for success. In addition to producing better results, this approach builds confidence in the justice system and treats individuals with the dignity and respect that they deserve. But most importantly, this approach recognizes the reality that we, in communities across the country, are all in this together. And the justice system is for all of us, not just those in power. For community courts everywhere, we bring what justice reformers want from their courts. And this is our time. Thank you for this amazing honor. Thank you very much for listening.
Congratulations again on your retirement, Judge Calabrese. And I hope to see everyone at our next session starting soon, which will be treatment responses through a community justice lens. Thank you.